check this episode of Bleach right here. Look, forget the intro. You've all waited long enough. My apologies. But let's get this started. It's me, Tybw. Today we are live action. You already know what it is. Let's start from the top. Yes, this was leaked and hinted at all over online and about the whole meeting between Tybw and Bach, but with what they discussed, I had no idea they're going to touch on some of these things. And a lot of it actually made sense. It seemed like they took things from the manga and the novel, of course, and added in some new things, and it all came together and made sense. So we see Tybw talking to Bach. He tried to come, with a non-aggression pact between the Soul Reapers and, of course, Bach and his empire and the Quincy's. And Tybw said, look, we were about the world of the living and everything else, maintaining the balance and whatnot, and we will not interfere with you Quincy's and the empire. It's a win-win. I mean, you can't lose. And Bach, he could see through the deception. He could see the bull crap. And I noticed that we see four of the Quincy's on the side. One of them was the guy with the eye patch. I forget his name, but in Curve 3, we will see the flashback. I believe it might be in Curve 3, when Bach was, young again, and he finally makes the decision to invade the Soul Society. We see that guy with the eye patch, but of course we see he ended up dying anyway, so yeah. And this Quincy female with the gun, it seemed like already she has her own fan base. To my knowledge, she doesn't even have a name, but she has a big fan base. I like how Bach, he starts to question, like, wait a minute, who was the one who set the boundaries between life and death and everything? Who separated the worlds into, well, the world was once one, now I got separated. Who was all this? And Tybw said, the Soul King, and the Soul King. And I love the fact that you see Bach, he just started absorbing all the souls. He said he can hear and feel the cries, the pain, and everything, the suffering of the departed. And I like how Tybw, of course, the left hand, he had the left hand of the Soul King. He said, let me show you. And I think Bach, he activated the Almighty. He said, I can see it. I like how they both said at the same time. But as soon as Tybw activated that, we see the eyes open up in the palm. She activates her Reishi rifle and starts unloading. Now, what's up with Kubo on these guns, man? We have Robert, Lyle, Stark, and now this Quincy female, but whatever. But it looks like he was blocking with this Shikai. I believe the brush part, the bristles look like they opened up and he was just blocking, standing there just like this. And Bach, he's seen the vision. And the vision that Tybw showed Bach is the same images that Ichigo seen. Except, I don't think Ichigo seen the one when Tybw was holding the corpse of the Soul King. Bach, he's seen that. And watching this whole thing, man, like, damn, this is crazy. We get to see Bach's reaction to the truth. How it all was. He's so that's the Soul King. Like, damn, this is crazy. Like, you have to love a series that has so much lore and background, and in a lot of cases, if not all cases, how it's just deeper and bigger than the main character itself. I love series with big worlds like this that can just have, that just goes back and back, have that much history, inform what we know of the series today. So, man, when Bach grabbed his hand, and we see how it looked like I always pronounce his name wrong. Man, when that was a hell of a, I wouldn't even call it a trade-off. He said, you think I'll let you have his arm for free? Nah. The consequence for that, of course, his eyes are forever closed. Right there. So that's why he lost against Old Man Yama. He didn't have the Almighty. It was all making sense. Because I think I remember when I reviewed when they showed the flashback when the original Goldie 13 took out all the Quincy's and Bach was the last man standing. I remember saying, to my knowledge, that why didn't he use the Almighty? Yeah, we all know the 990. Yeah, we get that, but I'm thinking like, like how and why is this power sealed? Or if not that, how come he never used it? We see he got stabbed in the back, and I don't know. Let me know what you all think. How Tybw said, your eyes will stay closed forever until you die. So did he literally mean, okay, well, when you die, that's when they open? Because we see he fights Tybw. Those palm strikes and everything, he knocks him down off the palace, closes him with the giant hands. Is that what killed Bach? Can't be, because he wasn't dead. He was able to, put his fingers in his throat, gain his voice back, activate the Almighty. Or what about when he got stabbed in the back when old man Yama cut him down? Was he quote unquote dead then? Because here's the thing. So he didn't have the Almighty, and old man Yama still failed to kill him. That I hope somebody asked Kubo that on Club Inside or something, because I have so many questions regarding that. Anyway, that flashback, I loved it. But nonetheless, this whole interaction was hella important, man. To me, this was one of the best parts of the episode because I want to see more like this from the rest of the entire series. And I can only imagine how frustrating and or painful this was for Kubo that he couldn't put this in the original work. Now, moving on to the moment at hand. Yes, the infamous moment we have. The fight against the Royal Guard. Now, yes, there were some changes. Not much, but there were some changes. So first thing first, of course, we noticed they completely removed the whole fight or interaction with Korenji attacking Bach, Hashwoth, and Uryu. Originally, Korenji, he activated the hot water because I believe, yes, the soul depths are activated. And he, summoned that skull in hot water. The soul depths are taken out. I remember when I first read this part in the manga, I was thinking like, damn, Bach and them, they're just standing there. It's not even damaging them, but yet it's taking out the soul dats. Maybe that's just how much more weaker they are. Yes, of course, the soul dats are greatly weaker than Bach and Hashwoth and Uryu. However, we see that's not the case. It was the wine that was doing that. That's why the water couldn't hit him. And even with that, he activated Shikai. He went to dash forward, and it went around Bach, Uryu, and Hashwoth. Now, just keep a thumbtack in that. We see where Korenji is right here. So, in the manga, this is the last point we've seen him for quite some time. So this whole time he was just behind Uryu and Hashwoth. Of course, in the anime, we see he's approached by Senjumaru and her special guards, the King's Blades, I believe she called them. I could be getting that wrong. And they fight the Soul Dats. This is a new scene, and naturally the Soul Dats, they got taken out like that, dropped easy. Then it switches to Ganju. Of course, no one cares. Yes, that is not the same Warhog. For all the ones who were wondering, that is a completely different Warhog. His original Warhog, that one is dead. Yeah, I will never forget on the end credit scenes of the, I think what, season 2 of the Soul Society arc. Yeah, that thing was getting flame roasted and broiled over an open flame. Hey, it is what it is. So anyway, the thing that kills me, you would think they would put this in the anime. Maybe they'd do it later on. But Ichigo did not address Ganju. They're cousins. Ichigo knows the truth. He knows he's a Shiba. He knows who the Shibas are. So you would think Ichigo would have been like, you know what? You know we're cousins, right? Maybe he felt this isn't the time or place. Again, maybe he will get brought up later, but I just feel like that was a missed opportunity. Maybe they didn't want to put that in because that would open up for some extensive dialogue, thus pushing the clock further for the episode. So yeah, that, for what we got in this episode, that meeting between Bach and Ichibe, I'd rather have that meeting than Ichigo talking to Ganju, revealing that they're cousins. And yes, when they went to take off, you see new footage. I think Byakuya was looking up in the sky. I think Basby, Renji, Rukia, Robert, he's laid out still looking up. And I noticed how they added this as well, where Yuri, he took shots at the takeoff. Anything he can do to take shots at Urahara, where Yuri will do it. I think he said that was a very sloppy takeoff, or it was just all out of whack, but yeah, that's Yuri for you. Now back to Senjumaru and her special guards. Yeah, this is when they take on the wine. Now, one thing I thought about, I never ever thought about this. I find it interesting that when they went to attack Bach, yes, they couldn't land a hit. It was because of the wine, but he wasn't summoned. Even back in the manga when Korenji went to fight Bach, yes, the wine wasn't summoned. So does that mean these Star Knights can use their abilities while they're in the shadows? Because if that's the case, what was the point of them even showing up out of the shadows? You get what I'm saying? Let your captain know down below what's going on. Because yes, that ability, he was using it when he was in the shadows. Just the fact, maybe, I don't know, see, I'm trying to think of a reason. Maybe he was right there in the shadow close to Bach in that vicinity, like literally right there near him, and that's when the blades came. I don't know, but if that's the case, you would have thought he had had him next to him when he was down in the Sarate the whole time, because this ability is hella crazy. I mean, and I like how they added the effect. You know, in the manga, it wasn't no effect. You know, he just took off the waist. Yeah, in the manga, it was extra panels where their Zanpakuto's were getting bent. But in the anime, I noticed they added this blue line, like a visual effect, which is pretty cool. He took out all those, I think the Soul King's blades is what she called them. And of course, he ends up dying. Not too much difference in the anime and the manga version. I do like the animation a little bit more. I'm not gonna say a little bit more. I like the animation that they did when he was trying to break out of the new woven jacket that Senjumaru placed on him. Yeah, to say the least, he got one of the most painful deaths out of all the people fighting in that area. So we cut to Yoruichi, Chad, Ichigo, Orihime, and Ganju making their way up to the Soul Palace, and Orihime is thinking back on how it reminds her of when they were going to the Soul Society to save Rukia, but this time Uryu isn't with them. And in the manga, I don't know why they took this out. In the manga, Orihime stated that's back when, you know, Yoruichi was still a cat. And Yoruichi said, I think along the lines, hey, I can still turn into a cat. That was completely removed in the anime. Now, this right here can be problematic depending on how you can look at it, because this right here is missing information that can be debatable amongst the anime only watchers and manga only readers. Yeah, believe it or not, this will shock you. There are Bleach fans out there who's not even watching this anime. They're like, hey, I read the manga, it's good, whatever, or I was disappointed with the ending. I don't want to see that animated. Despite proof that yes, they are adding new footage, everything is going to be expanded on, they're going to clean up a lot of the messed up things in the actual manga, they still are not going to watch the anime. So you have anime only watchers who are probably thinking that Yoruichi can no longer turn into a cat anymore, or why didn't she turn into a cat? But in the manga, it was known, yes, I can still turn into a cat. But hey, let me know down below, why do you think that was left out? Now we cut to some new footage that wasn't in the manga at all, and I love it. It is when Senjumaru, she just dropped the wine off of the damn palace. At first, it looked like he just got kicked off. You just see his body falling, and then it cut to her arm, one of those arms, you know, it just comes back, and I'm like, damn, did she just drop that motivator off the Soul Palace, man? I love that, because it makes sense. I didn't even think about it. I don't think no one has thought about it. Like, when he fell down after getting killed in the manga, like, you didn't see his body anymore at all. But hey, whatever. Because I think one of the reasons this was added in, when Bach brought back the Royal Guard, I was always wondering, why didn't he bring back the wine? Why? You know, I mean, hey, but I guess this time, hey, he can't be brought back because he dropped his ass off the Soul Palace. But also, after that, in the manga, which was crazy, Bach, he summoned some Soldats and his Royal Guard. In the anime, it was only the Royal Guard. I'm glad they removed that, because we see these Soldats keep getting dropped. They are the cannon fodder of the Quincy's. Now, yes, you can argue these Soldats are Quincy level, seated officer level, grunt level. Oh, all they have is spirit swords and the bow and arrow. I get that. But in a time like this, you're fighting Squad Zero, you don't have time for no damn Soldats. So I like that. I don't know if that was the reason they removed that, but to me, it just makes sense. Like, okay, the Soldats got dropped, the wine got dropped. All right, let me just summon my Royal Guard and not any more extra Soldats. So I did like that. Then you have Gerard versus Senjumaru. Yes, I like the way this looked. Spot on. She summons down what, the King's Shield, I think that's what she said, a big giant. And I don't know, man, this dialogue always kind of just not tripped me out, but you know, out of all that going on, she looks at Pernandes and just say, looks like you want to say something. You got this short thing with a big hood, all you see is these eyes, and she said, looks like you want to say something going on. But anyway, you know, that's what Lyle says. Hey, he said it doesn't matter how big that thing is, and he just crunches them up. I love that animation. I love it. The crunch, the look on her face, everything. And then you see my boy Lyle with the Call of Duty sniper rifle. Pop the whole right in her head. She lays out. I love how they just kept everything. And I love how it was switching from episode title, footage, episode name, footage. You seen the blood come out. They didn't censor that. She fell down. Big ass pool of blood leaking from her head. I really like how they did that. Now, another thing that was done differently, and I actually like the direction they went with this. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. I don't know. You all let me know down below. So in the actual manga, that's when Jiraiya said, "You idiot. You did that in the path of His Majesty. Clean that up." And then he crumples her up and tosses her to the side. In the anime, he didn't say such thing. Hernandez just did it and got her out the way. To me, I like that way in the anime better. It seemed more sinister and just cutthroat, ruthless, that they're not playing. I mean, think about it. Which one seems more intimidating or more impactful or shocking? You know, hey, clean it up. That's in the way of His Majesty's path. Versus, after she got shot in the head after that, crumpled up, you get out of here. I like the way they did it in the anime better. You know, hey, look what she did to Star Knight W, the wine. And then, you know, they just crumpled her up and tossed her out the way. It makes sense to me. Then it was revealed that the whole thing was a decoy, of course. I thought this was real smart on their part. Real smart on their part. And then that's when everyone goes to introduce themselves, you know. That's when Korenji shows up now in the anime. Again, this whole time, he's behind Uryu, Hasroth, and Bach. Because if you think about it, well, maybe not Bach, he made his way up a little bit further up the stairs. But remember, I showed you the panel. He went around them. And so from that point, leading up to all of this, you still didn't see Korenji. You know, I think the only time you seen him was when the wine, he actually explained his powers. And that's when Korenji was like, oh, so that's how he did it. But even still. So it was like, what, he's just standing there in Shikai on guard, observing? You know, you would think after the wine got taken out, that's when he would go and attack. But whatever. So back to the anime, he comes out and introduces himself. I like the look, you know, got the hand in the pocket standing there. You know, Korenji, he's one of my favorites. But of course, my all-time favorite out of all the Squad Zero, my boy Oetsu. Because in the manga, instead of all of them just showing up introducing themselves, that's when, yes, we see Oetsu show up. And bam! Oetsu, he just steals the show. Of course, it tripped me out. This motivator always have to do a countdown. And from 10 at that. Like, come on, man. But, you know, his appearance, it grew on me a little bit over time. Still not crazy about them sandal bubble shoes, whatever the hell he got on. But anyway, whatever, man. This guy right here, the number one Zanpakuto creator. He created the Zanpakuto. He knows all the names, abilities, and whereabouts of every Zanpakuto. He has the sharpest Zanpakuto of them all. And his speed is crazy. I love how, aside from, you know, his showmanship antics, you know, it's like he's not really for the chit chat. He cuts straight to it. The way Gerard went to strike him, I like how they look in the anime a little bit better. It's like it was zoomed out from the side a little bit more. You see the impact hit all the trees. I love that look they did with that. But how he just dropped Gerard just like that. And then, of course, we see Lyle in the manga. It doesn't give a visual explanation as to what happened. How you see Oetsu, he's standing there like that. And that's when Lyle was thinking, wait, what the hell happened? But he explained to him, I didn't do nothing. I just stood there. The Reishi bullets, you know, they hit the Zanpakuto and they split. And I get it. These are not actually bullets. I call them Reishi bullets, but yes, they're going to move different than bullets because I've actually seen a real-life demonstration of what would happen. I forget the type of bullet it was. They had a katana and a vice grip right here. They shot at it. The bullet did split, but of course, this isn't the Matrix. This ain't the movies. If that were to happen, you holding it, it's going to just split and hit you here. So you would think, well, as you're holding it, it'll just split and still hit him. But you know, again, this is Reishi, so it went this way. And he goes to shoot him again. And he deflects it. Because again, in the manga, it didn't show the visual representation, but in the anime, it did. And also in the anime, when he deflected bullets again, remember, Korenji still showed up, you know, standing like this, in the hand in his pocket. You could see him behind the wedge when he deflects the bullets. And it's just crazy how, damn, in the anime, he's right here, but in the manga, he's over there. You know, those are one of the differences that I couldn't help but to notice. Then my boy Owetsu, he just takes down Lyle. Oh man, then you see Penitas, he just goes and throws the sword right in his face. Flashed up to him, grabbed him, slashed down Askanakavar, but Askanakavar, he reacted, but not fast enough. He goes to the Askanakavar, still slicing him across the chest, and the noise his Zanpakuto makes that swing. And I did notice that, you know, Zanpakuto is wobbling. It's just crazy, it's that sharp. He has to keep him in jail like substance. There's no sheath that can sheath this Zanpakuto, man. That when I first read this in the manga, I was thinking like, yeah. I know they're not done by they. I mean, Ashroth, Uryu, and Bach. I'm thinking like I know they're not done, especially Bach. He's the main villain. Kubo isn't gonna have it to where Squad Zero is gonna kill Bach. But I'm like, what is going to happen? Because I'm like, if Owetsu did this single-handedly, like damn. And if I was Uryu, I'd have been scared as hell. Because first off, when he was leaving with Ashroth and Bach said, did you say your final goodbye? Because there's no turning back. Think about it. How is Uryu ever going to get back? This was like a one-way ticket to an Uryu story. He was going to give his life. Hey, I have to stop Bach. I'm just going to have to die in the process. So, even with that, if I was up there, I'd have been watching Owetsu do all that. Even with the antithesis, I mean, Owetsu versus Uryu with the antithesis. I guess it's a matter of if Owetsu would have speed against Uryu, because the way to get back, for example, the way to get around an ability is to kill the opponent faster than they can activate their ability. How you do it for night. You know, you see the eyes started glowing. He was gonna start to fold Owetsu like some 1040, but he was faster than him. Again, I'm not saying which activates faster or slower, Penitas' ability or Uryu's antithesis. I would like to think Uryu's antithesis, especially since I'm Ryuri, explained how, you know, Penitas' ability actually works. So overall, yeah, I'd have been hella terrified if I was But after all of that, you see Bach throws the pendant, and I like how the music actually slows down. You see it's a room, and he switched places with the pendant. Now, when I first seen that, my first reaction was like, what the hell just happened? I have to rewind it. I'm wait a minute. Then I immediately put two and two together. I said, Uryu and the antithesis, because a little bit earlier in the episode, you see he actually activated it. And I'm like, so I know the anime only fans were hella confused, but right there, that just goes to show how deadly the antithesis is. But I am a fan of Uryu, but it's just crazy, man. You take away that script, that antithesis, where do you place Uryu on the scale? Did he even get any stronger from the Fullbring arc? Like, the last sweet thing I've seen Uryu do was when he tried to sneak shoot Genjo, you know? And Genjo, he flipped and dodged all those shots. I mean, Uryu, he's not a dumb-looking character. You know, I like his personality. I want to like Uryu a lot more than what I do, but I mean, yeah, it's like Uryu seems stronger now because of the antithesis. I'm pretty sure if I go, one of the Bleach wikis, it breaks down his speed and the things he did was technically make him fast and all of this and durability, but whatever. I don't know, man. It just seems like, man, without that antithesis, Uryu, he's not like even A tier, S tier rank in terms of the Bleach, you know, power scale. But overall,
bleach is the generic name for any chemical product that is used industrially or domestically to remove color from fabric or fiber, or to clean or to remove stains in a process called bleaching. Should I keep going?
No, you shall not. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Why do I have this on? What is it? Siri? I rarely use Siri, but as soon as I said this, it must have been something I said to trigger this. But no, stop. We're off. Can't keep. This is why I call it live action. No takes, no cuts, no nothing. I'm gonna leave that in. Maybe you all heard it. I hope you all heard it. If not, you probably look like I'm just going crazy. Like, anyway, yeah, he switched spots with the actual the emblem. Also, I actually thought until I was like, oh no, that's not it. Old Man Yama's Bunkai. I thought he was gonna use Old Man Yama's Bunkai that he stole. Maybe he'll use on Ichibe. Anyway, he shows up in front of Ichibe. They exchange words. And man, the episode cuts off right there. And I gotta tell you, this was a 10 out of 10 episode. This is how you know something was done right. When you remove scenes, certain dialogues and moments, and still make it work. Because what we seen in the beginning, I'm still tripping over it. The meeting between Bach and Ichibe, that was worth it. Yeah, if you want to take out Ichibe, not Ichibe, but Kurenji striking first, and Yoruichi saying I can still turn into a cat, and Ganjo and Ichigo not talking about how they're related, yeah, that's a hell of a trade-off. I will take that. But unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. And this week, of course, is bittersweet. You get an hour-long special. No, the episode will not be an hour long. It's just 2 episodes, thus making an hour. And that will be it for the season 2 of Bleach 1000-Year Blood War arc. And I just cannot wait until season 3. I believe what it's going to be in April, March. I don't know. But again, I can't wait for the hype, man. We all know how it's going to go. It's going to be leaks, information, scans, new art, new posters. I can't wait for the new intro, man. The new intro, how it's gonna look. The song, are they gonna remix even more classic Bleach tracks? Of course, the trailers, you already know. Yes, your boy, keep it locked here. I will be reacting to the trailers, hear my thoughts and hype on it. Maybe we get more extended footage and battles. More things that will be revealed in Curve 3. But I believe the final one. I think each episode, man, is gonna be just more painful because it's like, damn, this is it. We're actually getting closer and closer to the end of the Bleach anime. It's like we already had to live through this with the manga, but then with the anime, it's just going away. See, I don't even want to think about it. That's what? That's fall next year, around the same time next year. So, whew. And by then, yes, backdrop will be even bigger and more complete. You know, this is like, this is a Shikai. Behind me, this is this Shikai. I will have it all bunkai'd out, but yeah, other than that, again, 10 out of 10 episode. I loved it. Let me know if I missed anything. Give me your thoughts about it. So, that being said, thank you all for watching. It's me, Captain Violence, signing out.